Hi, welcome to the Mayor's Monthly Update. I'm Kate Reardon, Public Information Director for the City of Everett, and this is the time that we have each month to sit down with Mayor Ray Stephanson and talk about the issues that are important to you. So we're still in the month of June, having a little bit of rain going on.
What did somebody say? It's January?
I think that hits the mark right there.
But you know, we had a great May and some really nice weather, which was really unusual. So, you know, we could stand a little bit of it, but we got to get on with summer.
Absolutely. Hopefully it'll get warmed up a little bit soon. Yeah. So we had some pretty exciting things going on in the month of May, celebrating Henry M. Jackson's 100th birthday, Centennial. Yeah. And you were involved in quite a few events regarding that. Why don't you tell us a little bit about those?
Yeah, it was really a time of reflection, but also inspiring the next generation of young people about the Jackson legacy and all that he did. A remarkable record in the time that he was in Congress and in the Senate. Before that, at 26, elected prosecuting attorney, which is just an amazing feat when you think about it. But you know that what really impressed me about Senator Jackson's record as a leader was really what at times seemed like almost polarizing points of view. Strong on military, strong on defense, one of the leading experts in terms of the USSR and all the things about that form of government and how we had to be a strong country militarily. But on the other end of the spectrum, one of the significant leaders in the environmental movement, before it was really even talked about, you know, the Wilderness Act and all that he did for the state of Washington, but really preserving natural beauty throughout the country. Just an amazing record. Huge on human rights. You know, one of the first leaders to go to Asia, to China, and to Korea and talk about human rights. You know, we hear more about it today, and maybe because of mass media, but really a remarkable leader in so many ways. We had a chance, and you were there as well, to talk about with student leaders from Jackson, Everett High School, Cascade, Sequoia, Mariner, and Kamiak, and that was a real treat. Talking about Senator Jackson and how he led and the things that mattered to him, how that applies today. Some great thoughts and great discussion. I really enjoyed it. On May 20th, we had an opportunity to unveil one of three Jackson busts. It was placed at Grand Avenue Park across from the Jackson home. A very moving event. Jackson family members were there. Scoops Troops members were there. Other leaders from around really the country. And then on the actual birthday, May 31st, we had three events: Navy Station at Everett Community College, rededicating the Jackson Center, and then a culminating event at the Edward D. Hanson Conference Center, which was terrific. Senator Cantwell was there, and it was wonderful to hear Anna Marie and Peter talk about their dad in such a personal, family way. You know, maybe a side that a lot of folks never saw. But it was a lot of work, and I want to thank you for all that you did for that. Carol Thomas as well, and many city staff who were involved with that. But what a great recognition. And I know the Jackson family appreciated it so much. So it was a great event.
And one of the nice things is we were able to capture those two main events, the bust at the Grand Avenue Park as well as the celebration at the Hanson Conference Center, so we can replay them right here on Everett TV.
Yeah, that's great.
So anyone now can enjoy those days with us.
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about the Everett transit service changes. We've been talking about this quite a bit through the last several months, and now we've come to probably the end of the time of discussion, and it's going to be implementation pretty soon.
We'll be doing service changes in August. This is not unusual. If there's anything unusual about these service changes, it's the fact that we have not seen a recovery in sales tax, Kate. And sales tax is really the driving revenue source for transit service. We know Community Transit, which is the countywide transit system, has been through a series of cuts. I think their service cuts were at about 37%, if I remember correctly. We've looked at every route obviously with the goal of operating within our means, which is critically important. But we looked at and we tried to reduce or eliminate routes that just weren't carrying sufficient riders. In some cases, we actually provided more service where ridership was very heavy and we just weren't covering it adequately. But we continue to provide weekend service and holiday service, which is important. But I think that we necessarily have had to really be very thoughtful and very disciplined about the service that we provide. There was a lot of discussion about bus rapid transit and our partnership with Community Transit, and should we continue that given the fact that we're seeing revenues not recover like we had all hoped. But that service has been very efficient. The ridership has increased above what the initial goals were and what we thought was going to occur. It's a great partnership between Everett Transit and Community Transit, and I think really demonstrates that we want to play and participate on a regional basis. So I think that it would be awfully short-sighted, and thankfully the council agreed that it would be short-sighted to cut that service prematurely. We really need to watch it grow and be effective. We now have their Evergreen Way plan, which is really a transit-oriented redevelopment plan that will take advantage of bus rapid transit. And so I really think that we've found the best balance we can. It's not to say that there won't be people inconvenienced, and that's always difficult. But we've done the best we can with what we have. I think we've communicated well, and my hat's off to Tom Hinkson and his staff for getting out there and communicating the changes and taking input and trying to modify where we can. And so I would encourage everyone to get on our website and check Transit for the changes. If you're a regular rider, that information is going to be on your regular route, so you'll know that as well.
Great, and so late August we'll be making those changes. Okay,
yes.
Great. And we definitely want to make sure people understand that they're not across-the-board cuts or something like that. We are adjusting what we always do to make sure that we're providing the best service possible.
That's exactly right.
Great. So let's go ahead and talk a little bit about another plan that we're getting ready to undertake, and it's the Everett Station area plan.
Yeah. Well, we've seen a remarkable resurgence of residential living in our downtown core. And what's most remarkable about it is it's occurred when in one of the most significant economic downturns this country has seen since the Great Depression. We had Patella Village, phase 1 and 2 of Library Place. And so we've seen more and more growth in our downtown. We believe that same kind of transit-oriented development can occur in and around Everett Station. So the idea is to take surface parking, see if there's interest in acquiring that property, and what a developer, the kind of RFP that we would be looking for is a developer that could ensure that we don't lose parking, so that might mean multiple stories, but that some mixed-use kind of development, including residential living, might occur at Everett Station. it's a bit of unknown. We believe, because there has been some interest expressed, that this kind of development will work, but we're going to know once we get the RFP.
Okay, good, and we'll stay tuned to hear more about that.
More about that.
Okay, great. So stay tuned right here, and we'll be right back with what's going on this summer.
Puget Sound starts here, and here, and even here. But the water we use goes down the drain into our streams and Puget Sound. Millions of gallons of oil and pollution. But we can fix the problem before we kill the sound. Like growing yards with fewer chemicals, car washes that recycle water, even scooping the poop.
We need a talk.
Puget Sound starts here, and so does our future.
Welcome back to the Mayor's Monthly Update. We're talking about what we can do right here in Everett for the summer months.
Yeah.
And I know this is your favorite time of year, so
It is.
tell us what you're going to be doing this summer.
Fishing and golfing. Well, Sorticulture was a great hit once again, even though the weather was a little sketchy. But still, it's an event that vendors want to attend and are often sold out the first day and have to, get more things to sell, and so there are often long days for them. But it's something that the public really has enjoyed, and we get a lot of people from around the county and the region participating. So that was a great event. Music in the Park starts soon, and probably the favorite one for me is the Music at the Marina, which is close to Lombardi's, and it's 3 days. It's a Thursday, Saturday, Sunday now, and very popular. Free event. These are free events. Jetty Island Days will start in July. The Animal Farm once again, and again I would remind people after last year to make real careful with sanitation, and you'll get instructions there. 4th of July activities, once again, the parade, we're preparing for that. I mean, this is when it happens in Everett. The playing pianos will be downtown again, and we got a little bit of a late start last year because if you remember, July was really wet, so hopefully we'll get those out sooner rather than later. And then once a month, and this happens all year, but this art walk on Friday nights in different places to see great art and drink wine and have something to eat, and that's become very popular. So a lot of great things going on downtown. And the other thing that it's going to be really cool to see, the farmers market, and this is on Grand Avenue between Wall and Hewitt, will begin demolition to build that project. And so that's going to be a great project to see get going. The other project I'm asked about often is the hotel, the Marriott Hotel. And the latest we've heard is they will start this year. And I know we've had some delays with that. That is not really unusual in the development world, but I want to see that hotel started this year, and I know a lot of people are anxious to see that as well. So some really, positive signs in terms of great things to do, great events, free events that people can participate in. But we're also beginning to see some encouraging signs that this economy is beginning to turn the corner. And I know the news is one day it's up and the next day it's down. It's sort of the way that it is, but there are some encouraging signs. I mean, we're seeing housing values begin to increase a little bit. Unemployment for us has improved, we continue to see a robust Navy, the aerospace sector. I've been doing a lot of retention visits with aerospace suppliers, and the number one thing they talk about, every one of them, is they can't find enough people to hire. I mean, what a great, problem to have if you're looking for a job. So I'm feeling more and more encouraged. We've been through a rough 4 years, and we're not out of it yet, but there are some encouraging signs.
So a lot of things to do this summer, a lot of developments to watch and see grow as part of our downtown area.
Yeah, and this year, just one more event, and I know if I didn't mention it, you would ask me, but we have the summer reading program, and we've always had that for kids, and that's been a program every year. It just grows. 400 or 500 kids are participating in the reading program. This year, we get to participate. The adults get to participate in that reading program. We will have a celebration of those accomplishments on August 22nd. The last 2 years we've done one at the main library and then one at Evergreen Branch, and it's been more like, almost like carnival and more fun, and I'll be there at both events, and so if parents and families want to take pictures, I'll be there as long as they want to be there. So
excellent.
Yeah,
that's great. And we're welcoming back the USS Nimitz this month.
And the Nimitz was down in San Diego here recently with a celebration of the Golden Gate Bridge, and so it's great to have the Nimitz aircraft carrier here, the sailors and those families, and I know they love Everett as much as we love having them here, so it's great to have them.
Absolutely.
Yep.
And they changed the face of our waterfront too.
Yes, it's terrific. Yes.
Well, thanks for joining us. We'll see you again next month.
All right, have a great summer.
Thanks. And thank you for joining us. We'll see you again in July. Have a great, safe summer, and we'll just keep coming back with you with more information about what you can do.